Benton and Fredericks Streets operate today as a wide, 4-lane arterial road with adequate curb-face sidewalks but relatively few crossings. It carries a small volume of traffic given its 4-lane cross-section. With average annual daily traffic well under 10,000, the road is not busy, but subjectively traffic moves at a very high speed. This underutilized high-speed arterial nature, situated in an urban residential area, causes some problems. West of Charles Street, the road divides a residential neighborhood from the rest of the city. Lack of safe crossings, combined with a wide street and the resulting high traffic speeds, lead to a feeling of separation between the residential area on one side and the businesses on Queen Street. I personally chose not to buy a home on Church Street because I would need to cross this road daily on foot. Additionally, many of the intersections, even recently reconstructed ones, are poorly designed for pedestrians. Crossing distances are excessively large, and the crosswalks are offset very far away from the path of the sidewalk. This leads to awkward and wasteful detours for pedestrians, and resultingly lower compliance with crosswalks. It also necessitates longer and more inconvenient traffic signal cycles. Worse, some newly constructed sidewalks are unacceptably narrow for a pedestrian-focused urban context. The road also carries the region's Ion LRT service, with tracks and a station in the middle of the street. Unfortunately, with long crossing distances and a lack of pedestrian focus, the road often functions as an obstacle to using the trains. One Twitter user here has highlighted the most obvious problem. How ridiculous is it that the road does not provide pedestrian access to both ends of a central downtown transit station? Fortunately, given the wide, overbuilt nature of the road, we have an opportunity to fix many of these problems. I propose narrowing the road from its current 4-lane cross-section to only 2 through lanes, and using the extra space to create a continuous, 2-way cycle track, additional parking, floating bus stops, and shortened crossings. It's clear that there is plenty of space to achieve this vision. Traffic numbers are so low that narrowing to 2 lanes will still maintain an acceptable level of service, even though I do not believe this should be a priority in an urban context such as this. Let me walk you through some of the highlights of my proposal. The project begins at Cortlandt Avenue, where the existing road narrows into a quiet residential street. This street has safe, convenient connections to the Iron Horse Trail and to Victoria Park. Cortlandt Avenue will get a separated pedestrian-cyclist traffic signal phase in order to facilitate cyclists connecting to the rest of the trail network. The curb-protected cycle track will continue up Benton, and the extra space will be used to create clearly delineated parking, to improve parking availability for the residential neighborhood, as well as overflow for nearby churches and businesses. At intersections, curb bump outs will be used both to minimize turning radii, thereby reducing traffic speeds, as well as minimizing crossing distances for pedestrians. This will help reconnect the residential neighborhood with the nearby businesses. The bus stop will be located in this parking lane to create a floating bus stop which allows transit riders a safe place to wait out of the way of the cycle track and allows cyclists to use the cycle track without playing leapfrog with buses. At Charles and Benton, the intersection sees massive improvements. We substantially shorten the crossing distances on several legs by as much as half. This provides safer, more comfortable access to the nearby LRT station. Crosswalks now line up with the sidewalks, creating a shorter path for pedestrians and increasing pedestrian compliance. And we even keep enough space to maintain a left turn lane in the eastbound direction. Best of all, we are able to widen the unacceptably narrow sidewalk on the north side of the street. At King, we see many of the same improvements. However, here, these improvements are even more meaningful given the pedestrian nature of King Street. The narrower lanes will see reduced traffic speeds and a more comfortable environment for pedestrians. The bus stop will even have direct access to the LRT station. Speaking of the LRT, by narrowing the road here, we are able to provide pedestrian access to both ends of the Ion station, correcting one of the most glaring flaws in this station's design. The proposed Phase 1 ends at Duke Street, but my vision lays out several additional phases, culminating in a connection all the way through to Victoria Street, where a multi-use trail is planned. This is all achievable at a low cost, without major construction. No existing curbs are moved. Only new curbs are created to repurpose existing space. This transforms this road from a 1960s car-oriented traffic sewer, cutting our neighborhood in half, into a modern, safe, complete street suitable to the traffic volumes that it sees, and providing a meaningful connection for cyclists to access our downtown.